Okay, so I know we're just at the start of our pandemic here, and the government just announced a shutdown for all non-essential businesses, which means a lot of you are going to get laid off, if not already. And I want to respond to my last video where I talked about landlords don't freak out. You know, I'm actually freaking out as a landlord now. And the reason why is because tenants, not all tenants, but some tenants are getting all together and saying that we shouldn't have to pay the landlords out there for the fact that we have mortgage relief solutions to us. You know, you gotta know that it's not a mortgage forgiveness plan. It's really a mortgage deferral plan. So that means you're still accruing interest from the day that you pause your payments with the banks, and they're gonna probably charge you interest on that interest as well too. And if you can imagine, half of your mortgage payments could be interest. That can get pretty hefty. And yeah, I can understand that it can help you in a tough situation, but it's not free money. And from what I understand, it's on a case-by-case basis, so most banks aren't allowing landlords to get that mortgage relief. It's only for principal residents. And if you're showing no signs of savings and you're about to default on your mortgage, that's the only time they're going to give you a mortgage deferral. At the end of the day, this is unprecedented times where it comes down to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where the basic needs of food and shelter are at the top priority. And I would argue that you can probably go longer without housing or paying your rent than you can with food. So you can see why tenants are thinking that they don't have to pay their rent. Well, I'm just telling you that be careful, tenants, because if you don't pay your rent, your landlord could turn around in 6 months and evict you because of non-payment of rent, and then all of a sudden you have this debt that's racking and you're still owing the payments, just like the landlords have to pay these mortgages. So I'd be careful with that, and if there's any way you can pay your rent, please do so, because your landlord is probably going through the same situation that you are. And you know it could always be a lot worse. Today in Colombia, there was an announcement that 23 people died from a prison escape and a lot more got injured because they were afraid of their unsafe living conditions in the jail cells. I mean, that could be us. I mean, essentially we're in jail with this, stay-at-home thing, but it's not that bad. At least you're home. At least you have the freedom. Can you imagine being incarcerated and this happens to you? And oh yeah, if you have any extra masks lying around or gloves, I'm going to donate these to the hospitals. I have some friends that are working in the front lines, and they desperately need this stuff at the hospitals, who are tending to the sick and to the people affected by COVID-19. And you know what? We don't want these heroes to get affected, whether it's a nurse, the staff, anybody at the hospitals. I really feel for you. So, you know, my dad, he gave us these to protect our family. So I took a couple out, not too many, but I want to give the rest to the front lines because they need them more than we do anyway. Thank you for doing what you do, and please be safe. So you know, while the banks are giving headlines about saying that they're going to give 6 months of mortgage payment deferrals to landlords, actually not to landlords, to property owners, they're not giving it to landlords. There's also money available to you as a Canadian citizen, whether you're a tenant or a landlord. There's some emergency care benefit that they announced that they're going to give up to $900 bi-weekly for up to 15 weeks. And it's designed for workers who are quarantined or sick, including those who are self-employed and don't qualify for EI. So I haven't seen the details of that, but I'm sure there's programs out there that could help you, and there's more measures coming on the way. So, and if you owe any money to the CRA, they're allowing you to defer your payments until August 31st without any interest or penalties. And along with the mortgage payments, they're actually allowing you to defer any high interest payment loans, such as credit cards or personal lines of credits or things like that, on a case-by-case basis, again, just like the mortgage payments, to be deferred without payments for 6 months. And it's not really a us versus them mentality. I mean, as a landlord, I don't say, you know, the bank should be doing this and the bank should be doing that. You know, it's tough because we can't just pause time. It's just the way it is. I mean, I wish we could pause everything while this whole virus just runs its course. You know, everything except for the healthcare system. So, unfortunately, just the way it is. There's nothing we could do about it. So there's a lot of obligations. It's not like you shouldn't take that headline as a reason to stop paying your rent, because sooner or later you're gonna have to pay it, just like landlords have to pay their mortgage. So the same message still sticks that I said last video. Whether you're a landlord or a tenant or an employer, employee, or unemployed even for that matter, please be human. We're all in this together. Let's work together until we get past this. And in the meanwhile, please, please, please stay home so that our frontline workers can cure those that are sick and they have the capacity to get rid of this virus.